Tamo junto, Deivão. Valeu, meu querido. 5, 4, 3, 2, 0, 1.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2, and welcome to GGG Live.
Tá bom som pra vocês?
Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal for what's coming next for Path of Exile 2. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream,
Vambora.
so you'll be able to claim your Verdant Wilds dodge roll effect by following the instructions below.
Só assistir a live que
Now
já
today, it's finally time to show off a new class that we know everyone in the community's been waiting for.
Nova classe.
So let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, The Last of the Druids.
Vambora. Nunca vi isso antes. Ó a bundinha.
Well, well. What have we got here then?
You lost, fella?
Hey, we're talking to you.
I asked you a question.
E vem o druidinha,
What's
mano.
wrong with him?
He's lost his bloody mind.
Uou, ele vai se transformar. Caralho, eu nunca vi isso antes. Skillzinha nova ali, de raizinhas no chão. Ok. Lobinho de gelo. Tá bonito, tá bonito. Ô, esse tornado tá bonito pra caralho, tá? Totens. Dragão. Wyvern. Nossa, esse skill é muito louco. Sério. Sério. Druida vira um Wyvern, mano. É isso, é isso. Aqui é novidade agora.
I will find you, Aoife.
Eu vou te encontrar, o quê? Ito?
Now, as you can see, the Druid is a shape-shifting elemental spellcaster. After his fellow Druids were destroyed by the King in the Mists, the Druid lost his humanity in the forests of Ogham, where he wandered for years as a beast. Now, finally reawakened, he's determined to find his lost wife and regain his humanity.
Ah, ele tá procurando a mulher
The
dele.
Druid has been one of the hardest classes for us to design. As well as having human spells, he has 3 animal forms, and we wanted to make sure that there were interesting combos between all of them. The Druid is our first hybrid strength and intelligence class. That means he
Força e
needs to have the
inteligência.
ability to use spells and attacks. As a human, the Druid typically uses magical staves to harness the powers of the earth and the natural world.
Keep and build.
Tá
One of the
bonito
first
esse
skills you will
spell, hein?
learn is the ability to create small volcanoes from the earth. This skill spits out balls of magma at your enemies, and will
Ah,
continue
mesma
to do
coisa
so
do
for
que a
some
outra.
time. While the volcano is active, turn into an animal and wade into melee range. Many of the skills you use as a human last for a significant period of time, giving you a good chance to turn into an animal and rage out.
Ok.
But how do you turn into an animal, you may ask? Well, the
Armor.
answer is a new weapon type that druids use, animal talismans. When you equip an animal talisman, you can choose which animal form you would like the talisman to represent.
Ok.
Depending on what you choose, you'll be given that animal's basic attack as a new skill to equip. For a bear, that's Maul.
Então
To
qualquer
turn
um
into a
pode.
bear, simply use the skill. Your character will instantly transform into a bear and attack. If you want to change back to a human, just cast a spell. You will instantly swap back and cast it.
Tá, aí a
We
arma
wanted to make sure
transforma,
that
ok.
swapping between forms was seamless and immediate. Changing forms should be something that you do without even thinking about it all the time in battle.
Ok.
In order to allow for hybrid melee and caster gameplay, most of the skills you use in your human form last for some time and aid your animal skills in some way. The volcano we used earlier will emit more molten balls whenever you hit it with a slam, making it perfect for use with your bear form's Furious Slam. While in bear
dragão?
form, many of your abilities use Rage. There are a lot of ways to generate Rage, but the easiest one is simply smash your enemies with Maul.
Ok.
Once you see the runes on your back glowing, it means you have enough Rage to do a much more devastating version of your Furious Slam.
Da hora. O urso brilha conforme ele tem mais força pra
Your
bater.
bear form can also go on a rampage, stomping the ground as you demolish your foes.
Bomba com vulcão, claro.
The more rage you have, the longer the rampage lasts, and doing it over a volcano makes it even better.
Claro, claro.
As you consume rage, your bear form will generate endurance charges, and these can be used with skills like Ferocious Roar.
Ok.
Ferocious Roar is a war cry that empowers your subsequent attacks to break your opponent's armor. The more endurance charges you have when you use it, the more empowered attacks you will gain. But Ferocious Roar has another special feature too. It's a meta gem that
Olha a
allows
arma.
you to socket any Warcry gem from
Tem
another
dragão
class into
naquela
it,
arma ali, hein?
giving you the ability to use these skills as a bear.
Tem dragão naquela arma ali.
Use the Warrior's Infernal Cry skill to make your enemies explode.
Deve ser item level ou level de arma.
Or use Seismic
foda-se.
Cry to stun your enemies and double up the number of slams you do.
Não deve dar pra transformar em dragão no level 1, tá ligado?
You can even use it with Ancestral Call, a skill that turns you into the fire god Khal. Ever wondered what the Karui god of war would look like if he was a bear? Well, wait no longer.
Caralho, que da hora.
Finally, build up enough rage and you can use one of the bear's ultimate abilities, Walking Calamity. This skill summons a storm of fire around you for some time, while generating even more rage to power your other abilities. A true bear apocalypse.
Legal, legal, legal.
Now the bear is known for being a slower and more lumbering animal, with slower attacks and heavy slams.
Ok.
But what if you want to turn into something a little more
Eu tava
nimble?
achando lento mesmo. É porque ele é
Well, let's
feito pra
check
ser
out the
lento.
second animal form for the
Okay.
druid, wolf form.
Agora é rápido.
For the
Me
wolf form, we
surpreende.
want it to go fast and furious. Even just the wolf's basic attack will leap forward and rake his foes.
Aham.
After attacking, the wolf stands up on two legs. But after
Lindo.
running for a short time, he goes back on all fours, allowing to move more quickly between packs of enemies.
Lindo.
The
Mobilidade.
wolf has a lot of cold attacks based on his association with the moon, and the first of these is Lunar Assault. It's great for freezing your enemies in place.
Nossa, dá muito dano, hein?
After they're frozen, use your basic rake attack to knock shards of ice off your enemies, which land on the ground nearby and explode.
Nossa, mas dá muito
If you
dano.
want to get into battle quickly, you can use your pounce attack. This skill leaps at a target and applies a mark to them. Killing the marked enemy will summon a wolfman into your side, allowing them to fight with you.
Ah, um minion de
Mark and kill
lobo.
as many enemies as you can to build up a sizable pack. While an
Ok.
enemy is marked, your wolves will prioritize that target and do more damage the more wolves you have. So make sure you
Legal.
keep your pack strong.
Legal. Lobinhos
Now,
pra
one
clear.
problem you might run into is your wolf pack dying in boss fights. You
Yeah.
often don't have any enemies that you can mark and kill in order to regenerate your pack. To deal with this
Entendi.
problem, you can use Cross Slash. Cross Slash jumps backwards and does a vicious double slash. Any marks on your target explode and triggers their abilities. This allows you to pounce to mark an enemy and then summon a wolf even without killing it.
Entendi.
Cross Slash also has another feature though. Remember those ice fragments from before? Well, Cross Slash will propel any ice shards on the ground towards its central target. First, freeze your enemies with Lunar Assault. Then rake them to create as many ice fragments as you can. Then follow up with Cross Slash to generate a field of icy explosions to obliterate your enemies.
Ok.
If they're still alive after that, your pack of wolves can finish them off. Just like with the
Bonito.
Bear's Raw skill earlier that allows you to use skills from other classes, Pounce is also a meta gem that you can socket mark skills from other classes into. So for example, you might want to try adding Freezing Mark from the Monk to Pounce. After pouncing at an enemy, Cross Slash to explode the mark and gain extra cold damage for a time. The Wolf has many other ways to go all in on cold though. Using the Arctic Howl Warcry will allow you to add cold damage and chilled ground to any slam, while buffing your pack of wolves as well.
Legal.
You can also use it to freeze enemies that are close to being frozen, making it much faster to use your other combos.
Ok, o lobo é
Finally, the
combo,
wolf
mano.
also has the ability to call down the power of the moon to transform into an Arctic werewolf with Lunar Blessing. In this form, you move and attack more quickly and deal extra cold damage. Consuming Rage will extend the duration of your Arctic wolf form. So you
Forgive
could
it
try a
all,
hybrid
worse.
bear and wolf build if you want to utilize the skill to its full effect.
Entendi. Tá bonito o lobo
Alright,
de gelo, mano. Tá
let's talk
bonito.
about the third form available to the
bonito.
druid, and I think it's a cool one. The Wyvern. The Wyvern has a
Vamos,
number of
vamos.
long-range breath abilities.
Vamos lá.
But
É
that doesn't
aqui.
mean you can't get into melee range when you want to. The basic attack of the Wyvern is Rend. Jump forward into combat and slash your enemies with your lethal talons.
É aqui, é aqui.
If they're close to being stunned, you can blow them off balance with a blast from your wings, causing an explosion of damage. After the battle,
legal.
though, it's time to feed. Devour the corpses of monsters to create power charges, and this is when the
Legal.
Wyvern's abilities really come online. When using Rend, you can consume a power charge to charge up your wings with lightning.
Você come cadáver
Only does
pra
this do a
gerar
bunch of
power
damage,
charge.
but it allows you to turn this melee skill into a much larger AoE attack. Once your wings are charged, your Wing Blast will also do lightning explosions for even more damage.
Legal.
If your enemies are close to death, no need to wait for them to actually die. When you see this blue marker, just devour them alive. Fresh meat is much tastier after all.
Legal.
Alright, so those are some melee options.
Power
But
charge é
how about
critical.
range?
Não, no
Well, you
PV2
wouldn't
não.
be much of a dragon if you couldn't breathe fire after all.
Power charge é usada
Rolling
pra
Magma
algo no
is the first of the
PV2.
Wyvern's breath attacks.
Ah, não.
Spit balls of fire that bounce along the ground.
Ah, não.
These
Rolling
balls
Magma
will
não.
trigger volcanoes as well, so it's a good idea to cast one as a human right before you start spitting.
Legal, mas eu não gosto de Rolling Magma.
But that's not all you can spit. You have something a little nastier in that
Óleo.
gullet of yours.
Legal.
Spitting a barrage of oil at your enemies will
Legal.
cover them in a viscous sludge that makes them easier to ignite.
Legal, legal.
If you have power charges though, plant your wings in the ground and vomit a barrage of lightning-infused projectiles. The more power charges you have, the longer you can do this for. But make sure you keep your foes at
Meu
range.
Deus,
You're
óleo
vulnerable to melee
elétrico.
attacks while channeling this skill. In order to help with that, let's take a quick diversion back to some of your human abilities. As a druid of Scoth, you have the ability to harness the power of nature to create entangling vines to slow down your
Massa.
enemies.
Ó o druida da natureza
Another of
como
nature's
vem.
punishments is the thunderstorm. Creating one of these will create periodic strikes of lightning from the sky, and will also make your enemies wet. Why is that useful? Well, of course, things that are wet are easier to shock. Use it with lightning damage from your wyvern form to enhance your damage.
Ok.
Making things wet also makes them easier to freeze, so it works nicely with your wolf form as well.
Vai deixar todo mundo
And you know what else
molhadinho,
likes
velho.
water? Plants. Water your plants to give them various extra abilities. Use Lightning Storm with Entangle to make them last longer, and attach more vines to each enemy, slowing them further.
Oh.
Summon Thrashing Vines to slam at your enemies for a time.
Oh.
Any that are created in water will be larger
Ooh.
and deal more damage.
Molha a plantinha.
Now then, with our enemies sufficiently subdued with our plants, time to really lay into them with our lightning-infused barrage.
Eu gostei de molhar a plantinha.
Now, this last wyvern ability is just ridiculous, but we felt like we had to do it. Use Flame Breath to take to the skies and rain down a stream of fire on your enemies. You have wings, so we have to take full advantage of them after all. So fly around and burn in it.
Claro que eles fizeram isso no campo de trigo, né? Eles sabem.
Now there are a few other skills we didn't cover, but there's one in particular that I think will open up a lot of builds. Spell Totems. Spell Totems are
Totems.
meta gems that let you create a totem that will automatically cast any spell in the game for a time.
Chegou os
In order to create one, you will need to spend 3 endurance or 3 power charges. You could use them to throw fireballs, summon comets, or shower the area in lightning. Really, the options are kind of endless. Your bear form can easily generate endurance charges by consuming rage, and your wyvern form can easily create power charges by eating corpses. So it's pretty easy for the druid to get the charges needed, but they're also available from quite a few other places as well. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of different spellcaster classes thinking about how best to take advantage of these.
Massa.
Now, of course, along with a new class comes a bunch of new support gems. We've added over 30 new supports throughout the game, but I'll show you a few of the cooler ones here.
30 suportes novos.
Fan the Flames can be added to any wind skill to spread fire from one ignited enemy to the other enemies behind them.
Que legal.
It's great for the Wyvern's Wing Blast. But you can also use it on many other classes with wind skills, like the Twisters on the Huntress,
Que da
or
hora.
the Monk's
Skills de
Staggering Palm
vento
Projectile.
espalham Ignite agora com essa suporte.
Accelerated growth causes extra explosive plants to erupt from the ground whenever you grow plants with rain. And Advancing Storm changes storm skills like your Thunderstorm or Tornado to move across the battlefield. It's great for watering plants en masse, or to turn tornadoes into a real disaster by sucking up multiple ground effects as they travel along.
Uou. Bonitão.
And the Sorceress might like to use it with Firestorm as well.
Isso aí dá muito pouco dano. Tem que melhorar muito isso aí.
Echoing Cry causes your Warcry skills to echo. They will repeat a couple more times with a delay after you use them, giving you more empowered attacks.
Legal.
Use it for the druid's animal form war cries, or on the warrior for a nice power boost.
Legal. Double war cry.
Grounding Shocks causes monsters you shock to turn into living Tesla coils, arcing lightning to nearby enemies. You could use it with your empowered wings for an extra damage boost, but it's also great with any other shocking skill.
Legal.
Try it out with Lightning Spear. It obviously needed more AoE clear. There's a whole pile more, but we'll leave
Precisava
those
de
for
mais
you to
clear
discover.
mesmo.
Now with a new class comes new Ascendancy classes. The Druid will have 2 options for now, with a third being released later. The first class is the Shaman.
Duas
The
classes.
Shaman
ok.
channels nature's elemental fury and can harness rage as a spellcaster, unifying his animalistic and magical tendencies.
Cara,
Allocating
legal
Druidic
esse
Champion,
Xamã.
you gain spell damage the angrier you are. And with Furious Wellspring, you generate rage continuously and can spend it to empower your spells.
Da hora, da hora.
With the knowledge of the Asmerian Magi, the Shaman can harness untapped power from runes and idols. After allocating Wisdom of the Magi, you will notice that all runes and idols have extra mods only available to the Shaman. These new mods unlock countless new possibilities for enhancing your build. You can also
Caralho,
allocate
que
Bringer
da hora.
of the Apocalypse, allowing you to become a walking natural disaster. After dealing enough elemental damage, storms of all elements rain around you, destroying all who would face nature's fury.
Massa.
There are other abilities for the Shaman, but I'll just show a few from each class for
Massa.
now. The other Druid
Massa.
ascendancy is the Oracle. The Oracle perfected the power of foresight and utilizes this in
Nossa, que
combat
arte
to gain
bonita do
massive
caralho.
advantage. When taking Fateful Vision, you will see visions of your future self using specific skills. If you decide to follow this path by using the skill yourself, it will do significantly more damage.
Nossa,
And with converging
que?
paths, at a critical moment in battle when a monster is vulnerable to freeze, stun, or electrocution, the Oracle can use Moment of Vulnerability to see a vision of the enemy's future, and then merge it with the current timeline, allowing him to deal damage to both.
Ah, é uma ida
And one of
da
my
vida.
favorites, when you first become an Oracle, you'll notice over 130 new extra passives appear in the Druid section of the tree.
Meu
By
Deus.
allocating the Unseen Path, you use your power of foresight to learn from alternate futures and gain skills that would otherwise be unavailable to you.
Como assim?
For example, self-sacrificing allows you to be able to summon more minions by reducing the spirit costs, with the trade-off of making your reservation skills cost more spirit. Or Corruption Endures, which allows oracles to have a small chance to avoid death. Both the Druid Ascendancies offer interesting and unique ways to gain modifiers that no other classes can get, so we're expecting a huge variety of build possibilities from these.
Caralho, o druida
Now, there are
abre um
unique
ponto que não
talismans for the Druid to
existe na
use as well.
tri.
We won't spoil all of them, but this one was particularly cool.
Que loucura.
Fury of the King turns your bear form into a fire demon, converting most of your damage to fire. As a demon, you can also use Molten Crash, a jumping slam attack that leaves fissures around you. This unique
Ooh.
also continuously grants glory, allowing you to use your ultimate abilities more easily.
Oh,
Now, of course, the Druid isn't the only thing we're adding to 040. We still have a bunch more to show. With every new release, we create a new league with new mechanics, new pinnacle bosses, and with a new story to tell. And this time is no exception. So let's roll the trailer for the fate of the Vaal.
e vem a Tsiri.
The palace of Queen Atziri. It is a ruin, but in the dark, machines
ruin.
still churn.
Olha o map device que a gente tem.
The temple has many functions, and with it, a chance to save the Vaal.
Meu Deus, que da
A
hora.
gateway through time. Travel into the past again and again. Alter the temple.
Que da
Uncover
hora.
its secrets.
Que da hora.
You will be rewarded for your sacrifice. And somewhere in the deepest chamber, my queen awaits.
I beg of you, hear me. The beast cannot give you what you desire.
You may have studied it, Doriani, but you do not know it like I do. It adores me. Come now, give unto me your desire. At last, fulfill my soul.
Meteram a bunda da Tizili pra vocês. Parabéns.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts,
Hi.
Game Director on Path of Exile. In the Fate of the Vaal League, you will find remnants of the ancient Vaal civilization scattered throughout Rayclast.
Cara, que legal que ficou
They
o
seem to
templo,
attract
mano.
nearby creatures and affect them strangely. After killing them, the remnant appears to gain some amount of power,
Ok.
but not enough to fully activate it. It seems you will need to find 5 more of these arcane devices and sacrifice the monsters
Que
you find there to
legal.
fully activate one.
Finalmente um
But
bagulho que
things
não é em
don't always
todo
go
o
to
mapa.
plan. These devices are old and sometimes infected by corruption. Twisted versions of ancient Vaal may emerge, and
Massa,
sometimes
massa.
even stronger foes.
É em todo o mapa,
On
mas
fully
ele só
activating
troca
one
no
of the
final.
devices, you finally discover its true purpose. A portal opens and takes you deep underground to a lost temple, once the home of Atziri, Queen of the Vaal.
Ok.
What treasures could still be inside? I think you're gonna want to find out. In front of the entrance is a console of some kind, and on activating it, you can see a map of the temple. Atziri's personal chambers are on the far side, but how could anyone get there? There are disconnected rooms, and the layout doesn't seem to make sense. And that's when you realize the purpose of the ancient devices scattered through Rayclast. The temple is powered by sacrifice, and this energy can be used to modify the very structure of the temple itself.
Muito mais
Each
da hora
time
do
you
que
run the
um.
temple, you will be given 6 rooms that you can place, allowing you to craft your own dungeon to explore. Place paths to link up the dungeon, and place rooms beside them full of precious loot.
Massa. Massa.
After you are happy with your choices, open the temple and discover the results of your efforts. Each room contains different challenges along with its rewards. On
Lake of
entering a room,
Kalandra, né,
the
mano?
doors will slam shut behind you and you will need to face the encounter within.
Quem jogou Lake
But
of
choose
Kalandra
wisely.
foi exatamente
It's
isso.
important where you place the rooms to get maximum returns. For example, when placing a commander, you could just place it anywhere along an existing path, but a much better strategy is to place it next to a garrison of troops for him to command.
Que da hora. Tem interação
With
entre
better
uma sala e
leadership,
outra.
the garrison will level up, making the monsters harder, but also more rewarding. Different rooms have different requirements for leveling up.
Muito
For
legal.
example, if you want to fully level up a smithy, you will need to supply it with golems from an adjacent golem works,
Que legal.
and hook up a generator to the power network to supply it with power. After doing so, the golems will be powered up, making them much more dangerous.
Nossa, vou mamar tanto aí.
You don't need to memorize what interacts with what. When selecting a room, you will be shown the locations that will make other rooms level up, and exactly what effect it will have on
Tá
the temple.
brilhando mais os bons lugares.
After running the temple, a few of the rooms will destabilize and be removed. It will be up to you to rebuild the temple, adding 6 more rooms each time you come back,
Ok.
making the temple larger and larger and larger. So,
Okay.
that's the basic functionality of the temple, but there is a lot more. Once Doriani finds out about your travels to Leraval, he will attempt to persuade you to take on a new mission. The temple entrance contains a prototype of the time portal device. It will be able to take you back in time, but only to one specific point, right before Atziri triggered the cataclysm that destroyed the Vaal.
Pra bater
He
na
requests
Tsi.
that you go back and attempt to stop Atziri to prevent the Vaal from ever being destroyed.
Que louco. Oh, que jogo bonito, cacete, velho. Nossa, vai se
Atziri is
foder,
on the
que jogo
far
bonito.
side of the temple, so you will need to expand the temple significantly to get to her.
Tier 1,
And
dá
even
pra
worse,
subir a tier
her
da
chambers
Ciri.
can only be unlocked by a room that isn't currently accessible to you. In order to deal with that, you are going to need to visit the architect of the temple. To get to him, you will need to place path rooms. But while doing so, you will probably want to exploit some of the Vaal technology only available in the past. Once you can travel into the past, a whole new set of rooms are available to you, and they have some pretty insane rewards. At level 1, the corruption chamber can be used to corrupt a single item.
Ui, double corruption.
But placing it next to a thaumaturge to run the place, and a sacrificial chamber
Ooh.
to provide soul energy, you'll be
Chegou.
able to level it up.
Chegou double
And it's
corruption.
worth it. Because once you get the room to level 3, there are some very nice rewards to be had.
Chegou.
In a level 3 corruption chamber, you will find this mysterious device.
Chegou.
It has a slot to place an item, and it only accepts items that are already corrupted. What will happen to them?
Você corrompe item já corrompido.
Normally once an item is corrupted, you can't modify it any further. But this device allows you to corrupt your item a second time, adding another enchantment. This has the capability to craft some very powerful items indeed. But be warned, the Vaal are all about
Assumi.
taking risks in the pursuit of power.
Puf,
There is a 50% chance that the item will be destroyed.
50% chance de destruir o item. 50%.
Each room has its own interesting mechanics and rewards when it levels up. Many of them contain bosses to fight, special drops, and in many cases, new crafting opportunities.
Jane Corruptor.
For example, a level 3 alchemy lab has a nasty Vaal construct to fight, but if you can defeat it, you can find new corrupted soul cores. Like Guatalizi's Thesis,
Meu
which
Deus.
on boots allows you to sacrifice your life to run faster.
Ah, bem.
Or
Por
Sita
favor.
Qualotl's Thesis, which on gloves will revive one of your minions whenever an offering expires.
Legal pra caralho.
Get a sacrificial chamber to level 3, and you will need to face a highborn priest of sacrifice. Defeat him to be able to further corrupt a Vaal unique, modifying it in unpredictable ways. One of the mods of this unique will be removed and replaced with another random mod.
Que da hora.
For example,
Nossa, mudou.
this Soul Mantle. It gives you an additional totem, but lowers your totem's life and curses you when they die.
Oh, já entrou Fullborn já,
By
velho.
using the machine, this could result in a terrible item if you remove the good mod, but also some amazing items if you replace the downside.
Nossa, já entrou Fullborn no PV2, velho.
Now, one extra thing to mention about these Vaal crafting machines. You don't have to take the items you want to craft into the temple. If you don't have the item you want to craft with you at the time, then clicking this button will allow you to create a currency item instead, allowing you to do the craft later or trade it if you want.
Que delícia, dá pra vender
Now,
a
there are all
corrupção.
sorts of interesting rooms you can find in the temple,
Puta
but the
que
last one I
delícia.
want to show you today is the Flesh Surgeon.
Finalmente.
A Vaal Flesh Surgeon can be leveled up by placing him next to a high-level synth flesh lab.
Porra, é essa?
But be careful. The Flesh Surgeon has some rather unpleasant experiments in his personal lab.
Nossa, parece o fininho do Bob
Afterwards,
Esponja.
you might notice the surgery table just sitting there. The Vaal are great at crafting items. Why not do some crafting on yourself?
É, vai ter essa...
After laying down, you'll be asked which limb you'd like to replace. Left arm, perhaps your right leg. Each limb can get a different set of random bonuses, so choose wisely. After getting up from the table, try out your new limb. It seems to work fine, and even perform better than your normal one.
What?
Now, there is just one thing with replacing body parts. If you die and are resurrected, your body will return to its natural state. You might need to return to the Vaal Surgeons if you want another robot arm, and maybe get a
Ah, não,
better one next
foda-se
time.
então. Ah, não. Morrer perde o
Some
bagulho.
rooms,
Ah,
like the Commander, can give you a new type of reward.
morrer todo mato.
Medallions that can be used to manipulate the temple in other ways. Using a Queeper Lartl's medallion will allow you to artificially boost a room even if it doesn't meet the normal requirements to level up.
Foda.
And a Huatalotli's medallion will stop rooms from destabilizing when you complete a temple,
Foda.
allowing you to guarantee getting a reward a second time. Great if you want to stock up on double corrupts.
Meu Deus do céu. Oh, vai
Now,
tá baratinho.
with all
desse
that
double
aside,
corruption.
time to face the Architect, and you will be in for a
Chipocado.
fight. Once defeated, you
Da
will
hora,
find
Ariana.
another console that can be used to modify the temple. But this one is special. It allows you to place new types of rooms with specific rewards.
Longe pra caralho.
There are rooms with specific uniques, special runes, and currency. But also a few other, more niche crafting experiments. Like this one, that can extract the soccer balls back out of an item, at the cost of destroying it.
Ok.
Now, something really important is every league we release a significant amount of content for the in-game. In order to make sure that the
do
Fate of the
Atlas.
Val works well for late-game players,
E foi.
we've added many mechanics to make sure that you can scale the difficulty and rewards to match. Getting some rooms to level 3 adds extra mods to the entire dungeon, and these stack with each other. So in endgame, when you can get some really big temples, you can generate a challenge that can even match the strongest of characters.
Spark.
We also start to introduce ways to store up energy for the temple, allowing you to save up many runs so you can do them later at your leisure,
Muito
and not
legal.
interrupt your mapping too often.
Muito legal. Você pode ir guardando
Now in
o
each
tempo.
league, it's important that we have a new pinnacle boss to test your character's might. In the Fate of the Val, you will get to face Adzeri while she was at the peak of her power.
Uou.
One of the rewards you will gain by defeating the Architect is the ability to place the Royal Access Chamber. Once connected to your temple, you can visit it to finally reach the Queen of the Val herself.
Aham.
This fight takes place at a critical moment in history, right as Adzeri communes with the beast's power and takes her true corrupted form. Now, we are not going to show you the whole fight, but we will tempt you with one of the rewards.
Dual Flame Blast. Peitoral, peitoral, peitoral.
This is Adzeri's rule.
Ah, ok.
This staff gives additional levels to all of your corrupted gems and lets you trade life for extra damage. But in addition to that, while using the staff, mirrors of refraction will constantly appear on the battlefield. Any projectile you fire at these will split into a nova, and they can chain from one to the other.
Ai, minha placa de vídeo.
So, that's the Fate of the
Legal,
Val League.
legal, legal. É um
But
totem que
we are
espalha
also
projétil.
bringing the previous league, Rise of the Abyssal, into the core game, along with a few changes. Now, for those of you who haven't seen what happens when a league is over, it's important to understand that you will not be seeing abysses in every area anymore. Rise of the Abyssal is now one of the league mechanics that can show up randomly in endgame.
Show.
If you want to specialize in running abysses, there is now a tablet that will allow you to add them to any map you run.
Ok.
You can also craft the tablet to add abyss-specific mods to enhance how they function. Now that Abyss is core, it also
Entrou
needs its
pra
own
mecânica.
Atlas tree.
Obrigado.
You can gain your first points by completing an Abyss. But there are more available for doing depths and killing certain bosses.
Legal.
And there are a bunch of different options. You might just want more monsters and bosses. But you can also make finishing an Abyss have a chance to overrun a nearby map with the Abyssal.
Oh, que da hora.
Or make your Waystone modifiers also apply to Abyssal depths. You could specialize in the interaction with other leagues, or specialize in a specific Abyssal faction. One of the important
legal.
elements that we have heard loud and clear is that needing to do Abyss crafting on Waystones is quite annoying.
Yep.
So, we have removed that. In fact, we have removed instilling from Waystones as well. This mechanic felt mandatory on maps because it boosted the value of all other content.
Não dá mais
But it was
botar
both
delírio no
annoying
mapa.
to do and resulted in a lot of visual clutter. Instead, we are bringing back some of that power on tablets, which you don't need to craft nearly as often, since they last for 10 maps each.
Ok.
Once you defeat the Arbiter of Ash, you will be able to upgrade tablets to a rare with 4 mods using regular currency. Even this isn't enough to fully bring back the power you could have gotten from
Okay.
instilling.
Ok.
So we have also buffed the bonuses that tablets give.
Ok.
Going forward, we're not going to be adding any more crafting directly to Waystones outside of the basic currency because it adds too much micromanagement.
Lindo.
But on that
lindo.
note, Fate of the Vial does bring the ability to corrupt your tablets, hoping to get one of many different random outcomes. Now,
Meu Deus do
with
céu.
regard to Delirium Fog, even though you shouldn't have to have it on every map anymore, we still did want to make it less visually annoying.
Tá muito mais
Delirium
discreto
Fog
agora.
has been toned down significantly,
Aleluia.
so you won't feel like you're just playing in a sea of grey.
Aleluia.
Another big source of problems in the endgame is the feeling of getting overwhelmed with monsters. In 031, we reduced the number of monsters in early endgame in order to help with this, but still scaled up the number of monsters to previous levels by the time you got to tier 15. Well,
Ok, menos
after letting
monstros
this
no
simmer for a
começo.
while, we are still getting this kind of feedback. So we are no longer going to scale up the number of monsters you go as you get deeper into the endgame. Instead, we are scaling up the difficulty and rewards by the same amount. So to be
Quantos que é
clear,
essa?
instead of increasing the number of monsters by 40%, they will instead drop 40% more items, grant 40% more experience, and have 40% more life.
Que skill é
In
essa?
addition to all the normal scaling they get due to being higher level.
Parece um experiência, sim.
This only applies to regular monsters, not bosses.
Nossa, eu amei essa skill.
We have also reduced the speed modifiers that monsters can get sometimes, which also helps a lot with this. Now, we did have a large amount of content for endgame planned for 040, but unfortunately we just didn't get time to finish it. The scope was a bit too large, and so we would need to wait until 050 for that. But rest assured, there will be a ton of upgrades for the existing leagues, as well as new pinnacle bosses, and a significant overhaul to the Atlas passive tree coming soon.
Rework lá
Now,
tá só no
another problem that
05.
becomes a much bigger issue in the endgame is game performance.
Nem fudendo.
And we have done a lot
Nem
of work here.
fudendo.
The primary issue is CPU load.
Nem
And
fudendo.
to address that, a lot of things have been optimized.
Nem
And we have done a
fudendo.
lot of work to take advantage of more of your CPU cores.
Nem
You should see frame
fudendo.
rates of at least 25% higher. And a lot less bad frame spikes during gameplay.
Pelo menos
It
25%
does make
melhor o
quite a
jogo.
big difference, especially on consoles. A lot more
Principalmente em
work in this
console.
area is ongoing, and you will continue to see performance improvements over the next few months. Of course,
Ok, isso eu não esperava.
another important area
Isso eu não
is game
esperava.
balance, and we have made a lot of changes. Now,
Muitas mudanças.
most of these we will save for the patch notes, but I'll do a quick summary of some of the numbers.
Vamos lá, resumo do patch note.
As well as adding 11 new unique items, we have rebalanced dozens of others that are not currently used very often.
Ok.
We've also done a pass over lineage supports. 21 of them have been rebalanced, as well as adding 9 more. Alongside the 2 new Druid ascendancies, we have made balance changes to almost all the others, with some of them getting a grander rebalance, such as the Smith of Katava.
Ok.
Alongside the 20 plus new Druid skills,
Legal.
we've also rebalanced 90 other active skills across all the different classes. And to top it all off, there are also over 250 new passive skills added to the passive tree.
Nossa.
These changes should go a long way to increase the viability of many more skills, uniques, and overall build variety that can tackle our most challenging content.
200
Next up,
novos
we're going to be
pontos.
talking about our new supporter packs.
Como assim, velho?
Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Precursor and Kalgurin packs.
Nossa, que bonita essa roupa.
Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way.
Vamos ver quantos reais a gente vai perder agora.
The Precursor series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
Puta merda, que bonito.
First up, the Marble Statue Character Effect. Once you finally stay still for a moment, a podium rises up out of the ground to immortalize you, turning your skin to marble. When you next move, the stone crumbles around you.
Ok.
The precursors had mastery over gravity manipulation. So too can you, now with the Gravity Well portal.
Ah, não gostei não.
Witness the power of its pull as you approach it.
Ah, não, não. Muita bola.
Draw in enemies with your own gravitational pull with the awakened precursor armor
Tá
set.
bonito, tá bonito.
The precursors designed and built many mysterious ancient beings. This one used to serve as a scout that would patrol
Bonitinho
and
também.
tase intruders. Why salvage gear yourself when the master of the forge can do it for you?
Muito legal.
Molten gold spills out as the forge master breaks down your items.
Legal.
The relic of the precursor's map device is a
Oh.
mysterious machine that sits atop ancient colossal statues.
Tá bonito demais.
It keeps track of the number of charges consumed on your precursor tablets used in the device.
Meu
The
Deus.
Kalguran Pack series also contains 6 exclusive
Que
microtransactions.
isso, baú?
The Kalgurans had astounding skill in astronomy, being
Level
able to
up.
track cosmic events with absolute precision. Harnessing that skill, with the astronomer's level up effect equipped, you too can now see exactly how long it took you to level up as it outputs the time in chat.
Caralho, velho.
The time
Skin
taken to
de
reach your last
speedrun.
3 levels is also displayed on the item, so you can link it when you have a time you're proud of.
Meu Deus do céu.
Crush unique enemies
Skin de
by unleashing the
speedrunner.
wrath of the lost Kalguran fleet, led formerly by Captain Heartland himself.
Legal, mas não ligo pra finisher.
A Kalguran seafarer needs armor fit for the treacherous seas of Rayclast.
Bonitinho.
This set has you covered, with the classic tricorn,
Bem bonitinho.
and of course, a peg leg.
Bem
The
bonitinho.
Lost Treasure weapon skins top off your appearance of a true raider of the seas. These gilded weapons can be applied to wands, two-hand maces, and shields.
Legal. Efeito que aplica
After
pra
a
várias
long day
armas.
of plundering loot, retreat to the Kraken's Cove hideout,
Esse tá
a
bonito.
home of some of the most deadly ocean-dwelling creatures in Rayclast.
Esse tá bonito.
Many ships have met their demise here. What better to accompany you in Kraken's Cove than a kraken itself? Replace your stash with a dormant kraken, waiting for its prey. As you approach, it will awaken and terrify both you and any guests in your hideout. Alongside this, an extra stash skin item will be granted to you, and when placed, will automatically open to any stash tab set with the currency affinity, to help having to navigate through your tabs. Additionally,
Baú de
any
currency.
microtransactions from these supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1. Thank you very much
Baú
for all your ongoing
específico de
support.
currency.
We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, at 11 AM NZ time, we'll post the patch notes.
Ah, ok.
With release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you'll need for the release. Keep an eye on the news. Thanks for joining us today and checking out
2
our
horas.
latest developments.
Que lerdeza pro patch.
We're looking forward to playing alongside our fellow shapeshifting exiles, all while uncovering Lost Val secrets by doing some dungeon crafting. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your
Certo.
questions ready.
Vamos lá. Pra quem não sabe como é que funciona ainda aqui na live, esse Q&A com o ZigD é uma conversa que eles ficam ali 1 hora falando blá blá blá. Eu não assisto, então quem quiser assistir, eu não assisto. Mas agora a gente vai passar com calma, vendo detalhezinho por detalhezinho do que aconteceu, pra gente ver com calma o que aconteceu. Não falaram nada do Tota, velho. Cagou o Tota. Então, vamos pegar aqui. Vamos pegar aqui.